If you're just joining us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. The federal government moves to stem the tide of illegal migration of Nigerians to Europe as President Buhari pledges to bring back all citizens stranded in Libya and other parts of the world. Lawmakers in the National Assembly demand immediate action by the executive to end illegal migration of Nigerians and modern-day slavery. Polytechnic lecturers suspend their 15-day-old nationwide industrial action following an agreement it reached with the federal government. And former Bosnian Croat military leader dies after drinking poison during an appeal hearing at the International Criminal Tribunal in The Hague. For more on our top stories and others, please visit our websites, channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also watch us on the go on your mobile device. Log on to m.channelstv.com or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have the Eyewitness feature, so you can share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. To be part of the news, just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. You sent some pictures into our Eyewitness portal. Let's take a look at them, shall we? We begin with this set of pictures from Ikeji-Arakeji in Osun State, showing three men sitting on a motorcycle that is already packed full, or burdened, I should say, with firewood. Our Eyewitness reporter is worried that these men are riding dangerously on an expressway. He wants such practices discouraged to prevent accidents. Next is this image from Funshaw Williams here in Lagos, showing a queue of trailers which, according to Eyewitness reporter, is causing heavy traffic. He wants the relevant authorities to do something about this, saying it's becoming more frequent. Our next image is from Oderele in Ondo State, showing electricity cables. Our Eyewitness reporter says have not had power for more than 3 years. He's calling on men of the Benin Electricity Distribution Company to come to their aid. We're staying with the blackouts with this image from Kajola in Obafemi Owode area of Ogun State. Our Eyewitness reporter is raising concern that the community has not had electricity supply for more than 3 years. He wants the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company to power their community, just as every other community around them is. Thank you for sending in those pictures, and please keep them coming. President Muhammadu Buhari has written a letter to the Senate seeking the confirmation of 10 nominees as members of the Code of Conduct Bureau, with one of them as chairman. In the letter read by the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, President Buhari is asking for a quick confirmation of the nominees. The appointee for the post of chairman is Muhammad Isa from Jigawa State in the Northwest. Others include Murtala Kankia from Katsina State in the Northwest, Emmanuel Atta from Cross River State, representing the South, and Obolo Panachi from Kogi State in the North Central. And I'm handing over now to Linda Kigbe in Abuja to take it off from here. Hi, Linda.
Hello, Amarachi. Now, it appears the 2018 federal budget may meet some obstacles in the National Assembly as the lawmakers have fought the second day of debate and the bill faltered the document. In the upper chamber, Senate President Bukola Saraki is worried that the recurrent expenditure in the proposal is too high, even as the federal government is working to block the leakages in capital expenditure. Lawmakers in the House of Representatives are also picking holes with the appropriation bill.
It's the continuation of the debate on the 2018 budget. And just like the first day of the debate, lawmakers continue to fault certain aspects of the 2018 budget. They were particularly miffed at the allocation to the health sector, as well as the failure of the federal government to block leakages from revenue-generating agencies.
In the budget of 2018, the biggest casualty is in the Ministry of Health, because the budget for Ministry of Health in 2018 has further been reduced, despite the fact that we have been clamoring for increase in budget of the health sector. This is despite the fact that even the budget of 4.23% of 2017, only 15% has been released.
I've looked at the projection for Nigerian customs in this document, 600 billion. Mr. President, in 2012, customs raised 912 billion. In 2013, 914 billion. In 2015, 917 billion. At that time, the exchange rate to a US dollar is less than 150 naira. The custom duties are collected in US foreign exchange, in US dollars. It is converted at the point of payment. How then will we, at the rate of 305 naira a dollar, generate 600 billion in 2018? It is ridiculous.
Senate President Bukola Saraki is also worried by what he considers as a rising recurrent cost in the 2018 budget.
If we look at our budget, it appears that our recurrent expenditure, especially personnel, has started creeping up again. It was well managed, but I've noticed, if you look at the figure again, it appears that that is going to see an increase.
In the House of Representatives, lawmakers question the accuracy of the assumptions in the budget.
We need to make a distinction between administrative capital projects and developmental capital projects. This is a budget today whereby even training is put in as a capital project.
Since you cannot be able to implement due to some of the leakages that have not been blocked, some of the diversions by other individuals, by revenue agencies not collecting this revenue the way we expect it, I think the only best bet is for us to increase the benchmark to at least, if we do so, it will even reduce the size of borrowing.
The executive is hoping that the National Assembly will pass the 2018 budget before Parliament closes for the year, or alternatively in January 2018. However, it appears that this may not be a reality, as the upper chamber has raised the alarm about chief executive officers of some government agencies, namely the NNPC and the CBN's refusal to appear before the Senate committees to defend their budgets.
Meanwhile, the sum of 400 million naira is to be paid as compensation to whistleblowers for the month of November, including the Ikoyi whistleblower. The Minister of Finance made the announcement at the end of the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja. The minister also got the approval of the council to spend the sum of 1.5 billion naira over a period of 9 months on advertising campaigns for the voluntary assets declaration drive to shore up tax collection.
With President Buhari away for the EU-AU meeting, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo chaired the council meeting. At the end, Council approves 2 expenditures. One is payment for media campaign to promote the voluntary assets and income declaration scheme.
Approval for the sum of 1.501 billion to cover the national advertising campaign for 9 months. This is press, radio, online, television, below the line. It was awarded to Messrs. Centre Spread.
Mrs. Adeosun is also excited about the progress made under the tax amnesty program.
This is what will really reduce our reliance on oil. When we have a steady stream of tax revenue, whether oil price is high or low, we'll be able to provide basic services to our people, which is incredibly important. And also the fact that it's largely high net worth people that are now being brought properly into the tax net to pay their own fair share of the tax burden.
Our colleague from the Ministry of Water Resources also got an approval to settle 9-year backlog of payment for the maintenance of 75 kilometers of pipeline from Gurara to Usuma Dam.
The total amount is 1.712 billion over the course of the 9 years, and Ministry of Water Resources will pay 50% of that, and the Federal Capital Territory will pay the remaining 50%. And we all have made provisions for this money under the 2017 budget.
While answering questions, the Minister of Finance is hopeful of raising up to $1 billion from the tax drive and already has $110 million in the kitty. On the whistleblowing policy, Here is what she has to say.
The payment is due to be made. It's ready. It's been approved. The total batch, which includes Ikoyi, is 421,313,585 naira and 87 kobo. That's the total batch for the month, and that money is ready for payment. The only condition we now need to fulfill, and I'm sure by the time I get back to the office it would have been fulfilled, the money has to be paid to the personal account of the person who gave us the information. We won't pay a lawyer or a company. We have to pay the person who signed the agreement.
She denied knowledge of the purported refusal of the Ikoyi whistleblower to collect his money. The procedure for collection includes waiting for 3 months after court judgment, payment of applicable taxes upfront, while ensuring that the whistleblower's identity is protected. From the Presidential Villa, Abuja, Ibrahim Adra, Channels Television News.
To education matters, the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, has suspended its 15-day-old nationwide strike. The national president of the union, Mr. Usman Duse, announced the suspension of the strike during the union's 14th National Delegates Conference at the Abubakar Tatari Ali Polytechnic in Bauchi State. The union is demanding the payment of its consolidated tertiary institution salary scale and better funding of government-owned polytechnics, among other things. When the news at 10 returns, major world oil producers seek extension of crude production cuts as the Organization of Exporting Countries prepares to hold its final meeting for 2017. That's some business news. Join us again.